Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing here today? Hey. Thank you guys again for tuning in. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning, children, sons and daughters, fathers and mothers, brothers and sisters. How's everybody doing? TRVN to the moon, baby. TRVN to the moon. Maybe. But anyways, yeah, pretty, so now today is a little bit better than yesterday, considering there are some stocks that I would like to trade. Yesterday was a terrible day. Ended up losing just shy of 6,000. Yeah, it was a terrible day. Took 2 trades, one short on Netflix, made like $20, and then just jumped right into a stock, heavy share size, just wasn't thinking, and I bought right at the top like an idiot. Lost about $6,000, called it a day, wasn't good, had to rethink a lot yesterday. So literally everything that I said not to do yesterday on stream, I literally did in one trade. So that pretty much sucked. Anyways, now you guys know where I'm at. So I'm coming off a big loss from yesterday, which is never fun. But anyways, is what it is. So, yeah, here we are. Screen not working. Should be working. I see it working. So anyways, yesterday, not the best day. Today, I think will be a better day. So we're going to start here first with Shopify. Shopify had earnings, and they're gapping down this morning. Now, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to trade Shopify, but Shopify does tend to have some pretty good volatility on the day that it has earnings, in which you can see it already dropped from about 178 down to 160. So it already dropped $18 a share theoretically just today. So I don't know if it's going to move too much more. Now, also mention here that Shopify dropped down to about 160, which is this pullback level right here and these previous high levels. So it is arguably at support, but I also don't see this as that strong of a support system. So I do believe it could break down, but I'm not going to bank on it. I do believe we're going to see Shopify trade within its range from pre-market low to, let me put this on a 1-minute chart. I think we're going to see Shopify really trade in this range on the day. Let me put these 2 lines here and you'll see. I think we're going to see Shopify trade within the range from like here to here today. I don't necessarily think it's going to break pre-market low or go back up above. Obviously, it's pre-market high. So I think we're going to get some more of a kind of like a choppy rally here on Shopify. So if you're good at scalp trading, this might be a good one to watch for you today. Jamie, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. After my $6,000 loss yesterday, that is really helping me turn things around. Honestly, kudos to you, and you're the best, Jamie. Thank you. Futures up 200. Futures are up. I know, I did literally tell myself I should probably just sit out, and then I didn't listen to myself. So I think today is going to be a good day. I really do. I usually trade pretty well after a pretty significant loss. Honestly, I don't know what happened to Sizzling Sticks. It just disappeared one day, and now there's like this... I don't know if a Japanese restaurant. There's a Japanese restaurant there. I don't know what happened to the Sizzling Sticks. Yeah, I always wonder the same thing myself too. James, I do have a theory on GE, and we will talk about GE. Man, I really should do weekend live streams because I could get so much more done with you guys. But yeah, so I do have thoughts on GE. I do, which I guess that we could talk about here. How do I deal with, I'm going to make a video on that. I literally I was talking about doing a video on how to deal with losses yesterday, or how I go about doing it. And yesterday was a perfect day. Kind of had one of those days. So I'm definitely going to make a video that I think is going to touch to a lot of people. It's not going to be that typical, just kind of do this, do that. No, it's going to be the real truth about how those days feel, because they are just terrible. And that's what you don't hear about trading is, you can make some good money and you work home and you don't work your 9 to 5, work from home, make your own income. All sounds great until you lose a bunch of money one day and then you're like, whoa. So that's what you don't hear. Yeah, those days blow. Anyways, I should totally do Sunday stock streams. I really should. I think we will. I think we have just implemented that. We will do some Sunday stock streams. That'd be fun. Give me something to do. No more footballs on anyways. So we have Shopify. Shopify is one we're going to watch now. The way I would say to trade Shopify, here's what's going to happen is usually with earnings plays, usually with all earnings plays, this is going to sound stupid. I just thought about the way it would sound if I said it, but this is how it works. Earnings plays are extremely volatile right in the morning because everyone sees either a big gap up or a big gap down. So they think, okay, if it's a big gap up or big gap down, then it can keep running a lot. So then it causes extremely volatile start where sometimes we get a quick panic drop or a quick spike, and then it kind of drops up and it drops up. So a lot of times they'll kind of go like this, actually back and forth, which makes it kind of hard for newer traders to trade. But there's usually good volatility, right? Like imagine for a second, if Shopify opens up here at 166, down to the pre-market low, that's $6 a share. If it spiked up to 170 from 66, that's like $4 or whatever, $3 a share there, a couple dollars. So there's a lot of room in here, and that's why I like earnings plays, right? Some people don't, but that's why I do, is because earnings creates massive gaps in volatility in the chart, which means the stock has the potential to trade this really big range. And if there's a really big range, it makes it easier to make money. If the stock was only trading in a range from 20 cents from this being the low, right, and then this being the high, right, if it's only trading in a 20-cent range, that means you only have 20 potential pennies of profit to make within that range. Then you think about the spread. So the spread being 2 cents, so now you only have 18 cents, right? And then when you go to sell, you have to calculate the spread again. So let's take another 2 cents. Now you're at 16 cents. And if your entry isn't exactly spot on, then you might as well drop it down to 15 cents. And if your exit isn't exactly spot on, you might as well drop it down to 13 cents. So considering that you have a relatively good entry and good exit and you traded properly, you only have about 13 cents of profit potential within a 20-cent trading range. But if you have a stock that has a $20 trading range, you have 20 potential dollars per share to make in that range. Much easier to make money than if there was only 14 cents up for the grabbing. And that's why I like the earnings, because it's super easy opportunity to me. All right. Let's see. Next one on the list is going to be, which we got, COTY. Now, this is going to be a pretty popular one for everybody today. So I want to trade this, but at the same time, I think it could get overcrowded because everybody's probably watching it today. I don't think there's any other really great penny stocks or anything too crazy this morning, unless it started moving and I missed it. But COTY is the stock that had earnings not too long ago. And now this morning they got news that JAB looks to boost its stake in COTY after management turnover. Okay, so COTY shares soar 19% after JAB Holding announces upcoming tender offer. So the stock is getting some additional catalyst from this JB news. JB proposal would allow JAB to acquire 150 million additional COTY shares at $11.65 a share. So it's getting some strong news. If you go back and look at the daily chart, you'll come to find that this, that's incorrect. This like 1150s area, right at 1150, it's starting to see some resistance. So right off these kind of high points right here in these pops from quite a little bit ago, COTY's starting to see resistance at 1150. So there's two ways that people are going to look to trade this. Early morning short sellers have already probably been getting in right here. So they're looking for this to wash out. And then the long bias traders are looking for a dip buy here from a pre-market level, which would probably be right around this 1106 area. Okay. Or arguably even here at 1080, 1090. So that's what's going on, right? Shorts are looking for this to panic out, and then the longs are looking for, after the panic, they're looking to dip buy this. So to me, I'm just going to wait on it. I think I'm just going to not try and press it in the morning. I'm just going to wait for it to kind of set up and hopefully do its thing. If it doesn't really want to set up in anything good, then I won't trade it. But I personally think the best way to trade this is probably wait for a washout, see if it pulls back out of the gates, because this thing's up pretty big from yesterday, from 9 to 1150. And if you look at the yearly chart, it went from 7 to 11 now. That's a pretty big move. So I would be more inclined to see some sort of a wash before it goes long, if anything. Let's see. XLF up 10%. The armor is still going. Thank you, Mr. Duishel. Mr. Shul. I appreciate it, brother. I really do. Thank you. Limit ceiling. Like the video, y'all. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, another thing, Denny, if COTY, what's it float on COTY? Where'd it go? COTY, yeah, has a 742 million share float, so probably won't move very fast. Yeah, Under Armour did have its earnings, but it's not extremely volatile right now. So to me, when it's not extremely volatile, I usually don't trade it. So yeah, you can see you have pre-market resistance here on Under Armour, right? High, high, low, low. So, it's got this range right now that it could stay in. And there's really two things. If it holds pre-market support, you're probably going to see it rip to the upside. If it breaks down pre-market support, it's probably going to drop. That's pretty much, for a quick analysis, that's pretty much what's going to happen. If it holds below or holds above like 19, 19, 10, 19, 20, it'll probably bounce and then trickle back up to 20. If it breaks 19, then it'll roll over, obviously, and probably go down. Let's see. Matt turning after earnings. Probably. Matt was up pretty big, so it makes sense it'd probably be selling off a little bit. No. Let's see, where does it drop down back up? Yeah, MAT is actually still up. That was just one quick candle down, but the price action's really at 1570 on MAT. All right, guys, last one here that I'm going to put up is CHGG. So CHGG is interesting. This is one that's kind of gapping up, consolidating completely sideways. So we have a gap and go set up here where if this thing can break up and over 30.80 or 38.34 could be good for a long. It's already breaking down. You could argue it hasn't really broken down fully. But it's got this pre-market channel, right, from about 375 up to 37. Oh, what am I saying? 3770s, 3775 up to 3840, 3850, a little bit of a channel. Basically, whichever way this channel breaks out of, it's probably going to have a fast move. So basically watching CHGG for a quick trade, fast trade, if it breaks out of one of these channels, squeezes up or breaks down. Based on the yearly chart, it's at a 52-week high. So there's not really any resistance on CHGG in order to keep it from going higher. So I'd look on CHGG probably for just an early morning, maybe a little bit of a sell-off, and then maybe a long. So I'm going to be keeping CHGG on watch long, considering it's into a 52-week high. What about a 3-year chart? 3-year have resistance, 3-year doesn't have resistance. So yeah, I'd be looking at CHGG for a long bias trade, considering it's into a 52-week high. There's no foreseen resistance anywhere ahead. The only thing that would bring this stock down in terms of selling pressure is just people selling from locking in profits, because there isn't really price point resistance and bag hold. There cannot be, guys, understand this. This is important, okay? The reason stocks have trouble moving up after they've come down, if you think about it, from a technical standpoint as traders, right, we always go, we see this point, right? We see this level. So we know there's going to be sellers here, okay? So we call it resistance. But if you think more deeply, if you think deeper about it, right? If the stock's been coming down and it's created this level of what we call resistance, right? Now, these sellers at this point, they could just be, someone who's day trading. It could be someone who's entering a swing trade. It could have been someone who has been shorting the stock, but is now shorting more, that it's reached this level. All right. So there's multiple reasons as to why a stock is selling, right? But what we have to understand is a big portion to the reason why stocks have trouble getting back up after they've come down is not only do you have that person selling the stock, not only do you have the new day trader coming in shorting the stock, not only do you have this person coming in selling that stock for a swing trade, not only do you have the person selling the stock that may have made money as it was going up from wherever it was they got in, but you also have those long-term shareholders that have been bag holding the stock. Okay, and bag holders, as soon as they get their head out of the water, they'll typically sell. So if a stock's been downtrending for a long time and you've been bag holding, and saw, and you get this little bit of momentum, brings you back up to positive, you're going to get rid of your stock because you've been underwater for a long time. You just want to move on. And that's something common that a lot of people don't think about, because as traders, we're like, oh, we see resistance. But if you really think about who is the resistance, who are those sellers, that's where you start to build your trading edge, right? And that's what I mean. You could say, hey, this is resistance and we're going to see sellers here. Okay, well, what type of selling? Who are the people selling? Sellers from short selling, sellers from swing trading. And you want to think of all those players because it'll help you get a better edge on trading. So when we look at something like CHGG, it could sell off, sure. But is it safe to say that we know there's at least no bag holding sellers on the stock? It is. Because if this stock is into a 52-week high, right, and we go back even 3 years, thing was $3, there is nobody bag holding the stock. It's been green and evergreen since basically the start. It's just been ripping and roaring. So why do you think anybody's going to start selling it? Or, well, let me rephrase that. There can't be. There legitimately is no bag holders. Nobody can be in the red on the stock. It's literally impossible for anybody to be red on this stock if they've been long. The only person that can be red from a long this morning on CHGG is if they bought here at the pre-market high or somewhere pre-market today, right? And now they're below. That's the only way anybody can be red on this right now, which means we know we don't have any long-term bag holders that are just getting ready to unload their stock at the first sign of light when it pops up. We don't have that. So I think there's strong potential on this for a good long setup, for a good push, because we don't have bag holders. We're into a 52-week high. It's gapped up. It's consolidated. It's holding. It's proving that it can hold this gap. So the only people that could sell this are people that have been long and that just want to take profit, or anybody who's a short seller that for whatever reason says this is too high and this is the time to start shorting the stock. This is the only reason this will come down today. So unless people think that this is the top and it has to come down, this should push higher. Should. And then next thing you know, Connor gets online tomorrow for a pre-market live stream on YouTube, and we come and we talk about CHGG, and the thing drops $20 a share, and Connor looks like an idiot. Hope that's not the case. I really hope so, but I do believe there's strong possibility on CHGG today, and that's my analysis for you guys. So, not to say I'm a genius or anything, because I'm far from it, but that's the way the brain works for me. That's the way my mind is working when I'm thinking about trades and how I want to trade something and the potential, right? So when people say to you, and when I say to you, in trading, there can be a lot of noise. I'm noise. I'm noise to you guys, right? Like, I come on every day and I put a few thoughts in your ears. You guys might be like, oh, well, I was thinking about doing this, but he says this, and I'm thinking about doing this. So I even create noise for you, right? And my job is more or less to say a couple things, get your guys' brain active, maybe looking at some things that you weren't, and then learn along the way. It's not necessarily here to make you change your whole trading style, to make you not trading the stocks you're thinking about trading, right? But now that you've kind of seen how my brain goes through that trade, that's when it's like, hey, you need to find what works for you, and you need to be able to make your own educated trading decisions based off of your own analysis. And that's something you hear commonly, right? And over the time, that's my analysis. That's how it works in my mind, and that's the way it works best for me. And so over time, that's something that you kind of want to be able to develop for yourself, right? Thinking somewhere along those lines. When you look at a stock, can you tell just by looking at the chart who owns the stock, who's probably going to want to sell the stock? Do we have bag holders? Do we have short sellers, right? Just by looking at the stock, I can tell you there's no bag holders, right? And the average newer trader probably wouldn't think that way. It's not hard to see it that way, right? When you look at it and say it's been green forever, it's not hard to figure out there's been no bag holders. But as a new trader, you wouldn't incorporate that into your analysis most likely, right? So it's just another thing that you can add to it, give you a little bit more trading edge. All right. 1 second. I'm going to run through some questions here. Let's see. SQ breaking bull flag. Yeah, you just trade expensive stocks with smaller size. That's it. The more expensive the stock, the bigger the range is. So, like I said, if Netflix on average, Netflix moves $10 per share a day. So if you were to every day get the high and the low on 10 shares, you'd make $100 every day on Netflix, almost. Which we all know that'd be basically impossible. So, for me, I'm still a seller on Cron. Still a sell on Cron for me. We'll take a look at it probably a little bit more when we get back into the private group. I'll take a little run ski on it. Actually, yeah, it kind of does. If you guys are in my morning routine consists of the bathroom, coffee, and a Juul. I used to smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Proud of myself, but not really, because I still smoke an electronic cigarette. So you basically just fixing one issue with another problem. That's really all it was. Yeah. It's like getting shot in the arm and duct taping the front of the bullet wound and just leaving the other one open. So it's like you kind of fix the issue, but not really. VRNS, Alex Delano. VRNS is a stock gapping down this morning on earnings, down pretty good. I didn't put it on the watch list, but it is something you should watch. I actually was considering trading that. Yes. Oh, it's funny. Yes, SHMP OTC stock has been explosive. I don't trade OTCs, but if that's something you wanted to get involved with, OTCs, check out, oh, wow, why can't I think of his last name? Brad. Anyway, you some of you probably know him. Brad, owned the Chaos, does a lot of OTC stocks, used to work in TechBuds, but doesn't work in TechBuds anymore for probably obvious reasons that many of you guys probably know. But he does his own kind of thing. It's called We Trade HQ. Yeah, We Trade HQ. They got a Discord, but if you literally type in We Trade HQ or own the Chaos penny stocks, you'll probably find Brad, and Brad does a lot of OTC things, and they've probably been all over SHMP this week. So if that's something like a niche you want to get into, then I, my friends, am definitely not the place to be hanging out. But they would probably be able to cater to that better for sure. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just reading through some comments. Yeah, Brad. I couldn't remember the last name. Brad Smith, exactly. GEG. A lot of people all of a sudden just started saying GE. All right. There's really, you know what? I will say. Let me go full screen. So I will say it once and for all, so everybody knows. The reason I don't work in Tech Buds and that relationship sort of ended very fast, I would be lying if, would I be though? I mean, I guess I would be lying to a certain extent if some of it wasn't my fault. I can't really put all the blame, on another person. But the reason I don't work in TechBud Solutions and don't with Ricky Gutierrez specifically was for reasons of a bad deal. All right, I'm a trader. I know a good deal when I see one, and it was just a bad deal. He wanted contracts to be written up. He wanted non-competes to be written up. He literally wanted me under a contract for 4 years. And then if I ever decided to leave and do my own thing, he wanted me to sign a non-compete form that I wouldn't be able to do my own business or something similar for 2 years. So I'm like, well, it's just a bad deal. I'll pass, and you go your way, and all the more success to you, and I hope the best. And since then, he's done phenomenal, and good for him. He's, from what I can see, great trader, trades you guys, D-guys all day, and does a phenomenal job, and I have nothing against the guy, but everyone's always asked, and I guess it's time to clear it up. And, I never came out. He made YouTube videos about me saying that basically, I don't know. He didn't actually say my name, but he said, he sells alerts and it's fake and he doesn't know how to trade and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, well, if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. And I never made out a YouTube video about him, never called him a bad guy. And I got a YouTube video on me, so that's it. That's all we have. For once and all, the problem and mystery has been solved. That was it. So, yeah. I don't really think I have any more else other than I don't have any more else other than that. So we've covered CHGG, we've covered Shopify, and we covered something else. We covered plenty of things, honestly. Honestly, a lot of people, I don't know if I'm gonna get rid of the mustache. I don't know. My roommates, they basically put me up to grow out my mustache and then do the old little. My roommates told me to grow this out and then do the mustache curl at the end. So we're going to go for it. If you guys want to hate on the stash, hate on the stash. But if I were you, the first thing I would do is pull out your checkbook and I'd start investing in the stash, right? Because one day this thing, this will be the boiler room. The stash will become the boiler room. I will be known as the boiler room man with the big stash that goes from nose to ear. And you will love it. And you will learn to love it. And you will learn to accept the stash. Connorchasm. You like Connorchasm? I do. So, a lot of people don't like it. My sisters, they call me a creeper now. They say I'm a creeper. And honestly, call me a creeper. I like it. I like it a lot. New BRT logo. My face. Just my face, a big mustache, and a smile. You'll love it. So that's enough. Enough kidding around. What are we honestly here for? So again, I'm just going to watch CHGG. I am going to do a live trading video for you. I don't know. I thought about it. I was like last time, maybe I'll do a live trading video today. I don't always do it. And it's not because I don't trade. So I don't think I don't trade. I do trade. It's all real. Again, it's just a lot of work. There's a lot of work to doing those videos and uploading them every day. So I'll do one today. Maybe kind of get back into the habit of doing them. Life has been busy lately. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. So hopefully that helped you guys one way or the other. I will see you guys all tomorrow morning for another stream. Holy shit, it's 9:04. I'm already late. So good day, good stuff. See you guys tomorrow. Other than that, have a great day and stay green. Don't lose money like I did yesterday.